Hi, it's a new year and I have a new platform. My name is Karen Cox and I am a historian of the American South. And I have an expertise on Confederate memory and this thing we call the lost cause. It is a term that confuses people quite a bit, but I'm here to help. So where do we get this term, the lost cause? Well, it comes from the title of a book called The Lost Cause: A New Southern History of the War of the Confederates, written by Edward Pollard, who was a journalist and editor at the Richmond Examiner. And that book was published in 1866. It is over 700 pages long. I don't recommend it as light reading. But there is, in the last few pages of the book, something I think is really key to understanding the lost cause. He says at some point in those last few pages, the war only decided two things: the end of slavery and military defeat. And those things that the war did not decide, the Southern people still cling to. Of course, he's talking about white supremacy. He said the war didn't decide Negro equality. It didn't decide citizenship for these freed people. And those things that weren't decided, the Southern people still cling to. He's essentially saying that while the Confederacy had gone down into defeat, and while slavery was ended, the South is not about to honor or acknowledge citizenship or equality for these freed people. Well, of course, he wrote this in 1866. Just a few years later, that's exactly what happened. The 14th Amendment provided citizenship, and the 15th Amendment gave black men the right to vote. So those are two of the most important of the Reconstruction Amendments. I think that his statement that the Southern people still cling to those things that they didn't believe the war had decided is going to ring true. And it is the foundation of the lost cause, which is a narrative made up of myths about defeat, about slavery, about the Klan, you name it. At its essence, it is about white supremacy. And the lost cause will shape Southern culture from then on out. And it will be guided by those principles of white supremacy and racial control.